Ma'am, Belina ma'am, I have shared my PPT. Is it visible to you?
Ma'am, screen is
Yes.
visible, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Shall we start or we'll wait for another 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can start, ma'am. I think it's time.
Yeah.
A very good afternoon to all the participants. Now we will start our today's session of 9 days national level workshop on web application development using DevOps. Now I request Mrs. Indumati ma'am to introduce the chief guest of this today's session. Indumati ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Indumati ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's working.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to all the participants and program organizers. I feel very happy to introduce the resource person of Dr. Uma Shankari, ma'am. Dr. Uma Shankari has over 19 years of teaching experience. Currently, she has been working as assistant professor in the Department of MCA, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus. Ma'am completed PhD in Computer Science from Bharatiyar University and MPhil in Periyar University, MCA from Meenakshi College of Women, Chennai. She qualified UGC NET and SET. Ma'am is a member in Board of Studies, Dr. Ambedkar Law University in the Department of Computer Applications. She has participated papers in 6 national and 5 international conferences. She has published 15 research articles, out of which 8 in international journals. Ma'am acted as a resource person in various institutions. Dr. S. Uma Shankari research interest includes the data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Warm welcome, ma'am, to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizer for choosing this wonderful topic and giving me this opportunity. Today, we are going to discuss about an overview of Git and GitHub. May I know about the audience, how many of you are familiar with the word Git and GitHub? What is Git? Could you please give the expansion for Git? Audience? Ma'am, am I audible? Kanimuri ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
Clear, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay, it is a code repository, version control tool used in IT. Good. Okay, that's good. It's a code hosting platform. Very good. Global, yes, very good. Global information tracker. Yes, Git, it is global information tracker. Yeah. We are going to, today I'm going to give a glimpses about Git and GitHub. Okay. Think, could you able to see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is it visible? Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So in today's session, we are going to cover about what is version control system and the benefits of version control system, then introduction to Git and various Git terminology, how to install Git and the various commands in Git, about GitHub, the difference between Git and GitHub, then the simple demo using Git Bash and GitHub platform. So this is our overall session coverage. The PowerPoint is moving very slow. Okay. What is mean by version control system? Have you, I think we would have, being a computer professional, we know we would have come across the word called version control system, because once the code is developed, in case if any changes be done, then we rename the a code with some other name. Usually we use, say for example, student database, then student database updated, student database final. Likewise, based on our comfort, we give a different names. Whereas in case of version control, they'll name it as version 1, version 1.0, version 1.0.1, version 1.0.2. Likewise, whenever there is a upgradation in the code, we'll give different version names in order to manage all the different stages of the particular file development or the project code development stages. So we'll have a different name for the different version of the code. So the entire version control system to manage and to make the work more simpler. So these version control systems are coming to the practice. So let us start with a simple example. Assuming a multinational company, okay? So the multinational company will have different offices in different regions, and their employees are working in a different region across the globe. Okay, so they need to store and they need to maintain several versions of the files made by the different different part of the different module of the employees sitting in a different region of the globe, across the globe. So all these changes are essential challenges a company are facing, and out of these challenges, a company must successfully deliver their project too. And that makes a version control system comes into the picture. So like what are challenges a particular company face in order to maintain this version control? They need to collaborate, and they need to maintain the storing versions. Then storing previous version also we need in order to check what is the bug in the current version and what is bug fix in the earlier version. And we need to figure out what happened. And we also need to make the backups too, right? So these are the challenges are faced by the company that makes the version control system comes into the market strategy or comes into the picture or the platform. And in order to face these challenges, like what does mean by collaboration? The employee may be sitting in one place, the another employee may be sitting in the another place. They both need to work together on the same project, maybe on the same module too. So they need to communicate, they need to develop a code together, and they need to debug, and they need to release the code together, right? So that a collaboration is required. And storing version. The project is completed in several versions, and in that situation, keep all such commits in a single place. It is a considerable challenge. And storing previous versions. Sometimes it is a need to go back to the earlier version to find what is the root cause for the particular bug. And because we need to figure out what happened. So it is very critical to know what changes were made to the previous version of the source code, or where exactly the changes have been made in the file. So that all we need to keep track. Then backup, it is more necessary, right? So if any system or disk breakdown, then if there is no backup,
Uma Shankari ma'am. Ma'am, Uma Shankari ma'am.
challenges are?
Uma Shankari, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Your screen has not been shared, ma'am. Your voice is not audible.
1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Now is it, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, but screen has
But
not
the
been
screen
shared.
is not shareable. Now,
Yes,
1
ma'am.
second.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible, ma'am, now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Guess I connected through my mobile data. So once if any phone comes, it automatically got disconnected.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we can define a version control system. If that record changes made to the file and the set of files, the responsibility of the version control system is to keep all the team members on the same page. It makes sure that everyone on the team is working on the latest version of the file. And most importantly, make sure that all these people can work simultaneously on the same project. So that is the ultimate goal of the version control system. Okay, we'll understand the process with a simple example. Say there is a server repository and 3 different workstations are there. Workstation 1, 2, and 3. So the main copy is there in the server repository, and the workstation will also have a working copy. So all the 3 workstations will work independently, and if any changes are made to the file, it is also updated immediately to the server repository. So which means all the 3 workstations, the employees or the people working in all 3 different workstations will have a feel of working in the updated version of the code, updated version of the project. Okay, so this is how especially the version control system is more successful because of its distributed control management. So we can say it is a source code management system, or you can also say it is a version control system. Okay, so these are the benefits of the version control system. So why I need to use the version control system? Because it is managing and protecting my source code. It keeps track of all modifications made right from the initial stage to the end. So all changes are made to a particular file or recorded, and compare using this recorded stages of the file. It is very useful for us to compare. So in the current, what bug is fixed in the earlier stage, how whether I have rectified the bug in the current state, so that using the code itself, I can go back to the previous track, and I can also do the comparison very easily. And you can also say it is a developer's best friend. Version control system, it is a developer's best friend because supports a developer's workflow and not any rigid way of working. So this version control system, it provides them a smooth platform for the developers to work in a easy and in a collaborative manner, because the people who are working in the platform should not feel very frustrated, because using the tool itself is more tedious than the motive of using the control system. It totally is. So it provides a very smooth way. The platform is very GUI platform. It helps the developers to maintain and track their and manage their code very easily. So that is why people are telling the version control system. It is the best friend of a developers. Okay, these are the best version control systems used in the market. GitHub, GitLab, Perforce, AW Content Commit, Apache Subversion, Team Foundation Server. So these are the popular version control systems that are available in the market and used by the industry professionals. Today, we are going to discuss about Git and GitHub. Okay, what is Git? We have already, our participant posted, it is a global information tracker. It is a popular version control system. It is created by Linus Torvalds in 2005, and it has been maintained by Gino Hamu since then. It is used for tracking code changes, tracking who made the changes also, and code collaboration. So at GitHub, it is a version control system, which is designed to make it easier to have multiple versions of the code base, sometimes across the multiple developers or the teams across the globe. It also used to see changes who have made the particular code at what time. All these details are recorded in the Git. That is Global Information Tracker. What does Git do? Yes, it manages project with repositories. It clone a project to work on a local copy. In the earlier example I told you, right? There will be a server repository, and workstation will also have a cloned copy in their local workstation, and the main copy will be in the server repository. So workstation will have a feel of working in the latest version, but they will work in the local copy, but periodically it gets updated into the server. Then we can also have a control and track changes, who made, when the changes have been made, and all this track will be, all these changes will be tracked, and it is controlled with the staging and committing. Then sometimes we may move from branch from one component of the project into another component of the project. So branching is required. After the commits have been done in a different branching, the merging can also be taken place, which allows for work at different parts and the versions of the project. And we have a pull the latest version of the project to the local copy. You can pull and you can work and push the local updates, as we saw in the earlier example, right? The server, from the server, you can pull the latest copy, and to the server, you can push whatever the update you have made to the main project. Okay. So this is how the Git works. And why Git? 70% of the developers, they use Git because it provides a smoothie platform to track their versions, and developers can work together from anywhere in the world. They can collaborate, they can work together, they can have a track. So developers, they can see the full history of the project, and developers can revert back to the earlier version also if any changes are required. So this is how, these are the main impact or significance using Git. Actually, according to the recent study says, as on January 2023, 100 million developers they're using Git, and 372 million repositories have been created till date, and 28 million public repositories are also maintained by the Git. So this is the latest statistic about our Git. Okay. And this is the, am I audible? Are you all with me? Am I audible, participants? Can anyone answer? Or,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Audible,
yeah,
ma'am.
thank you. Yeah, that is the only problem in the online sessions, whether okay. And this is the workflow. Like you will have an untracked file by using Git command called git init. You will have an untracked file, and then it is an unmodified way. Then you can modify. Then finally you can stage the file to the commit state. So you can add every stage. You can add a file, and you can edit. You can stage the file. After it get confirmed, you can commit. All the changes will be committed to the. All the changes are committed to the file in a specified file at the end. So this is how the workflow of git init command does. Okay. Now we had, I think we have gained a little knowledge about Git. Then what is GitHub? Git, it is not same as GitHub, because Git, it is command line oriented tool, whereas a GitHub, which use graphical user interface, and it is a code hosting. The GitHub, which helps to host the Git repository on the remote server. So they both are not same. GitHub is a website, or you can say it's a code hosting platform, which helps to host Git repositories on the remote server. So there is a difference between Git and GitHub. GitHub is the largest host of source code in the world, and it has been owned by Microsoft since 2018. It is purchased by Microsoft in 2018, where the features of the Git are the same as GitHub. You can collaborate, bug tracking can be done, branching can be done, you can create a Git repositories, project management, team management. It's a code hosting platform, and you can also track and assign the tasks. So these are the features. Maximum features are supported in the Git also. Okay. So what is the difference? Main difference between Git and GitHub? It is developed in 2005, and Git is installed and maintained in a local system, not in the cloud. Whereas a GitHub, it is a cloud-based platform. So whatever the repositories which is created using Git, it can be hosted in the GitHub on the remote server, and it is a cloud hosting platform. It provides the services for the user. So that is the main difference. I have listed the difference between Git and GitHub in the next slide also. It is because the Git is installed locally, whereas a GitHub, it is hosted in the cloud. It is released in 2005, and whereas it is initially released in 2008, but later it is purchased by Microsoft in 2018. And Git is still maintained, and since it is the founder is Linux, the foundation, the Linux Torvalds. It is maintained by the Git is developed by Linux Torvalds, and it is maintained by Linux Foundation till. The Git, it is a version control and code sharing, whereas the GitHub, it's a cloud hosting platform, so it supports a source code management centrally, both distributed manner. And it is a command line tool. Git is a command line tool because we will be if Git is used, all the command you have to remember. Like you will have a feel of working in your Linux command and your DOS command. So it is a command line tool. Whereas your GitHub, it is administrated by web application, websites, and you will have a GUI. Everything is graphical user interface. It is easy to do because you need not remember all the commands for doing each and every operation. And it provides a desktop interface, Git GUI, whereas here it uses GitHub desktop, and the open source license, and it includes the free tier, and for better features, if you want, you can pay for used tires also. So these are the major differences between the Git and GitHub. And these are the basic terminologies we should know before we get into our Git demo. So that is I have given, but I think it is too early, but we'll just have a 2-line of definition about each terminologies in Git. Okay. Like as I already mentioned, if you want to work in, if you're working in one particular part of the program, you want to jump into another segment of the program, the branch is required. So the branch is a version of the repository that diverges from main working project. Okay, it is an essential feature available in the modern computer version because Git project can have more than one branches. So we can perform many operations on Git branch like rename, list, delete, etc. The next one is a checkout. The term checkout is used for act of switching between different versions of the target entity. The git checkout command is used to switch between the branches in the repository. If you want to switch between the branches from in the Git repository, we can make use of a git checkout. And cherry picking in Git is meant to apply some commit from one branch into another branch. In case if any mistake has been made and committed a change into a wrong branch, but don't want to merge the whole branch, we can revert the commit and cherry picking into another branch. So like if you don't want to commit in a one particular branch, that can be done by using cherry picking. Then clone, you can have a copy of your repository from server repository, copy of your file from the server repository to the local machine also. For that, we need a clone, git clone. Like that, you can use a command. Then fetch is used to fetch branches and tags from one or more other repositories along with the objects necessary to complete their histories. So it updates the remote tracking branches simultaneously. And head, it is a representation of the last commit. The head means it is not a starting point. It is the representation of the last commit. We can think of head like a current branch. When you switch branches with Git, you can check out the head revision changes and the points the new branches. Okay. Then Git index, it is a staging area between the working directory and the repository. So we need to specify in which directory we are going to work, and all those changes are committed in the particular directory. Then master is the naming convention for Git branch. It is a default branch for Git. Okay, to resolve the naming conventions, default branch it is a master. And the merging is a process to put a forked history back together. Git merge command facilitate to use and to take the data created by Git branch and integrate them into a single branch. Then origin, which represents a reference of the remote repository, is called as the origin. As I already mentioned, no? Pull and push. If you want to pull a latest version from the repository, you can use the pull request. And if you want to save the updates and commits, then you can make use of the push. Then rebase. So if you want to change a location, then we can use a rebase. It is referred to the process of moving or combining sequence of commits. Okay, so that there we can use a rebase. Then a remote, it is concerned about the remote repositories. There you can specify the remote reference or remote URL. Then repository means it is data structure used by the version control system to store metadata and set of files and directories. It is called repository. Then staging, it is sometimes you want to switch branches, but you're working on an incomplete part of your current project. So you don't want to make commit. The halfway we are working, I don't want to make any commit in the halfway, but I want to switch. So in that case, you can use git stage command enables to switch branches without committing the current. So in that situation, we can use a stage. Then tag means make a point to a specific point in the history. Okay, we can like lightweight tag and annotated tags you can use. Then git revert, if you want to revert back the commit, then we can make use of a git revert. Then git reset, the term stands for undoing changes. The git reset command is used to reset the changes. Then git ignore, if you want to ignore any files. The term ignore is used to specifically or intentionally, I don't want some files to be untracked. So in that situation, I can make use of a get ignore. Then difference, the git difference means I have an older version, then I have a new version. I want to see the difference. What are the changes I've made done in the new version? Then I can make use of a git diff command to see the difference between the current and the older version. Then git cheat sheet, which will have a summary of all the quick references in a git commands. The basics of git commands are in a git cheat sheet. Okay. Then git flow, it is a branching model of git, the working flow of a project and the track of the working flow. That is git flow. And git rm, if you want to remove, I have added a file to a track, but I want to remove that file to be tracked. So then I can make use of a git rm command. Then git fork, it is a rough copy of the repository. Forking a repository allows you to freely test and debug with changes without affecting the original copy, right? So these are the basic terminologies that we should know before we enter into learning a Git. Okay. Am I audible? Ma'am, I'm audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Now we'll see how to install Git. So this is the link. We can see based on your terminal. You may use Mac or Windows or a Linux system. So based on the terminal we use, so accordingly you can download your Git. So here this is the site www.git.sourcecodemanagement.com. It is official site where you can download Git at free. This open source free software, so you can download here. So you have a guidelines in this particular site to download your because based on your Mac OS, whether you use Windows system, Linux, so you can download accordingly. There will be a guidelines for downloading. And here in my system, I've downloaded Git Bash, but in few systems, the terminal, it automatically, your Windows operating systems are coming with a Git option. If not, you can download your from gitscm.com. So for demo purpose, I have downloaded Git Bash here. For my in my system, I've downloaded Git Bash. Okay, these are the commands that we are going to use in Git Bash. So once you downloaded, you can type Git in your search window. So that will list the app which are available or which you have downloaded recently. So I have downloaded Git Bash. So when I'll show you the demo. So before that, we'll just go through the various basic commands that are available. So once I have downloaded, I have to click on to the Git Bash app. So it will take you to the app. It is, as I already mentioned, it is a command line tool. So your Git Bash, it is a command line tool where you have to set up all the environments using the basic commands. So git config, it is a command that is supported by the Git platform to fix the username and the corresponding email ID. Here we are going to use git config -- global user.name. So name of the user I have to mention here. Then the same way, I need to configure my platform global user.email where I need to give my email ID. And once the platform is set with the name and the email ID, then I need to create my repository. By default, it will say, we need to fix the, either it is a master or main. We have to initialize the repository by using the init command, init.default, the branch's name. Okay, this is the first level command we are going to use in the demo purpose also. And these are the help, git config -help, which will provide the help information. Like our any help manual, you want to make use of it, you can use get config -help, then get help config. So this will show you the PDF format of help menu. This will get you the PDF format of the help menu. Then if I just use the clear command, it will clear all the previous content which is displayed in the screen. So everything will be flushed out and you will get a fresh screen view here. Then log, like the entire track changes to just about whatever happened. You want to see the log file, you can use git log command and git page wise -p. And if you want to get a log help, then you can also use git log help command. And to initialize the git repository, these are the commands we will be following. I'm going to use a cd for change directory and initialize the repository using init function. And if you go to the file explorer, you can see the hidden files and the git folder into a hidden file. Then it will, by just giving the status command, you can see how many files are are tracked and what are the files are not in a track. So that it will show, the status will show. So what are the files are created in the repository which are not in a untracked. So that information is given by the git status. Okay, so this is for if you want to track, you can use the git add file name. You can add a file name to which you want to track using git add file name. And in a repository, in a folder, I have some 10 to 12 files. I want to add all files together. Then I can use git add -all. So all the file are pushed into the repository for tracking. Then you can see whether all the files are tracked by using git status. And if you want to remove, then you can use rm command, then --catch file name. So that will be untracked from the already we push all the file for tracking purpose. Then if you want to remove any file to be tracked, then you can use rm, remove file from the track. And yes, this is for delete, restore, and rename. So remove file, yes, of course, you can delete a particular file from untracked from the track pool. Then get restore. If you want to restore the deleted file, then you can make use of a restore method and move file name. then you can move new file, old file with a new file. If you want to rename a file, we can use git mv. So which you need to specify a new file name as well as the old file name. Then the old will be replaced with a new file. And basically, if you want to remove, if as I already mentioned, right, sometimes we may intentionally don't want to track any file. So in case such, they may have some secret data like a salary of the employee or PIN number of the employee in the text file or in a CSV file format, or it can be image or logo. So if you don't want to track such files, then you can make use of the method, the command called git ignore. Git ignore. So you can, whatever the file you don't want to track, you can put it in a text file. Then you can mention git ignore of that particular text file. So that will ignore those files. Even though it is there in the repository, those files will not be tracked. And commit. So whatever the changes I have done, that should be committed using the git commit command. And if you want to see the difference between the older version and the new version, then we can use you can use the diff command that show the modification which we have done into the current file. Then after the modifications, then you have to stage a file. Okay. So commit mudichitom appadina, you have to add a file. Then only you can do the tracking. Okay. So after modification, you have to add a file and see what are the changes have been done. Then you don't to remove from a staging area. Then you can make use of a modification. Then you can make use of a restore to the old version. And to directly commit, stick the staging stages. Now stage program and abdina direct commit A-M or message kodutona. So that will skip the staging stage and it will perform the commit operation. So rebase. So if you want to the root base kudukono, if you want to change that you can use a rebase command. And branching, switching, all this cannot be covered in one particular day with 1 hour session. So these are the basic commands. Just because everything at one stage, if I give, you feel dumb. Okay, these are the basic command. We are going to see a simple demo using git bash. Okay, I'll stop share my PPT. I'll share my screen for demo purpose. One second. Wait, I'm just opening the file. Just a minute. I'm unable to find my main screen. One second. Could you able to see my git bash screen?
Yes, ma'am.
It is showing Uma BA at Uma Shankari.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this could be your git bash, which I have installed using that link which I've showed earlier. In the search, you can just type git bash or whatever the application is downloaded. When you click on it, you will go into this git bash, where I have shown the initial commands, right? What is that? Config command. So because I have already config, but initially without configuration only your git bash will open. You have to config that by using the command called just type and show. You have to config git config - global. As I already said, no, it is a command line tool. So you have to type everything. User.name. So what I have given is Uma BA. Okay. So this is for setting up the username, right? Then after which you can press enter. And then I'm going to type user email. Name must be given within quotes. Okay. Then I have to type my email. So once I typed my email, my environment got set up like umaba@umashankari. Okay. So my environment got set up. After which I have already created one repository. I'll just show you -. Okay. Config. I'll just show help command. I've shown no help command. Git config help. So this will show you the help. What are the basic commands supported here? So in config file location, we have a global, config system, local, work tree, then actions. So these are the basic commands which is supported. So that you can see by just typing git, typing git config -h. Okay. Then you have another method to get the PDF manual. You can say git help config. Are you all with me? So see, now it is opening a manual. Git config manual is open. So this will have an entire synopsis, config command synopsis, and the corresponding explanation of each and every command in it. You can also go through, you can try, right? Okay, this is one thing which I want to share. And you can, okay. Then I have shown one more command called clear, no? So it will clear the entire screen. Now it got the fresh screen opens, okay? Okay. Now I want to create a repository using this git bash. So I have a folder in my local computer. So the folder name called git demo. Could you able to see my folder git demo here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Because you need to, you can do on your own by just nowadays, the learning resources are plenty. By just seeing the YouTube, you can learn everything. The only thing is, so when we spend time, I just want people to travel with me. That is why I'm asking. Okay. So now this is the path or the location where I have my file called git demo. Okay. So now I have copied this file. In location, I've copied the location. I'm going back to my git bash tool. But here I cannot copy paste. Okay. CD. I can paste. I can paste my location. CD. CD uses desktop git demo. So this is the file. This is the location where I have my repository. Second. Okay. Because say earlier I've used a //, so that is not accepting. So it is telling that no such file or directory is found. But here I need to use this front slash. So that is why it is accepting. So now I am in the git demo folder. Okay, that folder in that. So whichever location I want to work, I have to set my environment to that particular location. Okay, now I set the location. And see, I'm going to initialize. So by using, I have already shown the initial PPM the beginning itself. I've shown workflow. That is a command called git init. So git init only initialize your repository. Okay. I have already initialized this repository. Git demo, it is already initialized, but still I'm using the command called git init. So see, it is telling that reinitialized. It is existing git repository. If it is not existing, it will create a new repository. Okay, initialize for creating a new repository. Okay, you can try all this. And now I'm going to git status by using the stated command. See? Oh, so these are the actions was done in Git demo folder. Still listen, on branch master, changes not staged for the commit, because I have not done any commit over so far. And I have added git add using the git add command, or remove Pandadaka, we can use rm command. Then for restoring, it is giving restore command. And earlier I have added GitHub PPT, then version control system document, Git reference document. But all these are deleted because once I have added, then I've removed. So it is showing all these are deleted. And these are the untracked files are available in my folder. I have several folders. Let me show the folder. I've shown no. So there are several folders in which few folders are, few folders are deleted and few folders are showing it is untracked here. So these are the folders are in untracked mode, and I have given git ignore. I have given. See here I have given a git ignore. So in which what I have said, ignore all .txt files. So which means for during the tracking, this will ignore all txt files. Okay. Okay, fine. And it has opened the VS Code, I think. Let me move on to my 1 second. Okay, then wait to git bash. Okay. Okay. So these are the files which are deleted. So it is recording, no? So whatever the action it is performed on a git demo folder. So this git demo folder only we call it as a repository. So all the actions which we perform on this particular folder, it is tracked. So that is how it is named as the global information tracker. So you can also ignore some file. And if you want to add all files together to be tracked, I can say git add --- all. So what it will do, so now it will add all files together because this DevOps PPT is in open. So if I close that PPT, then all the files will be added into the folder, GitHub folder. For tracking purpose, it will be added into the folder. So these are the few commands I would like to share with you. And wait, you can also use git commit. Git commit. Git commit. Then say message my first commit. Can give some message when you perform commit operation. I can say my first commit. So far, no changes have been done. So if I do any changes on any of the file which has been tracked, so that will be committed and that will be saved. Okay. So this is how you can have a track on your file. So first you have to set up the environment, and and we have to remember one thing. First, you have to add a file by using an add command into your Git repository for tracking purpose. Once, if any changes have been done, then again, once again, you have to add a file into the repository. Finally, you give a commit and see what are the changes have been done. Okay. So that is a step-by-step process. Every time when you change, you have to add a file and perform commit operation. Then only the changes will be permanently committed to the particular file. Okay. So this is about the Git. Now we'll move on to Git bash. GitHub. Just stop share this one. I'll move on to sharing my PPT again. One second. So we stopped with git bash demo. Okay. Now these are the basic GitHub commands. You can, as I already mentioned, your GitHub. It is a website. It is a hosting platform which helps to host Git repositories on the remote server. It is a cloud server platform. Everything will be hosted into the cloud server platform. Okay. Okay, we'll go to a small demo. I mean, I'll just show the GitHub link of my. I'll just close the thing. We'll go to the screen. Okay. Once again, give me a time. Yeah, okay, repository I will open. To be able to see the repository of Monish Karthikeyan. This is the dashboard. To be able to see this repository. Can anyone answer, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This is the GitHub platform. You have to log in. So it is also free. It is open source. It is available. You can just sign in by using your email ID. So this will create your GitHub platform. So wherein we can create our own repositories. You can push all your code into the GitHub repository. It can be collaborated with the in a public mode. You can invite people to collaborate. So people can use your code. In case if they want to give any command, they can share their command. You can refine your code. You can enhance your code. You all can work together as a collaborator. See, the basic, but nowadays, what the interviewer are asking when people come for campus drive, the industry people are asking for the GitHub link of the students. Okay, I guess many UG and PG students are there. The current trend, even though you undergo your first level of screening and technical interview or your coding skills test, apart from that, they ask for your GitHub link, your LinkedIn profile or your GitHub link. They are asking for it. By using that GitHub link, they assess you in what way you are. They assess your coding skill, because in the repository, whatever it is, it can be a simple logic, but it should be your own logic, or it can be a collaborative logic it can be a simple project you could have developed. Okay, but that must be our own code done by you. By seeing the repository, by seeing the various projects you have developed and you have hosted your projects in the GitHub repository, that helps them to assess your coding skill. So which helps, which in turn helps you to showcase your coding talent, and you can get your free internship by just looking at your GitHub repository. The people, nowadays the students are getting their free internships. So now the trend has changed. Okay, many people are watching your profile, and it is open and it is public, right? So you can develop your own repositories using this kind of coding platform. So it is visible publicly. See, this person has 19 repositories, and he had developed. I'll just show one. It can be a simple thing. So I'm not telling that it should be a very big thing. It can be simple web page development. It can be simple web page development. He has done for a simple web page development. He has published that development, and the link is also he has posted here. By just clicking this, okay, he has done web HTML design using this. See, so this is the page web page he has designed, right? And that he had uploaded into the repository. So this file has one folder called image folder, one readme folder, one config folder, and HTML. This is the index file. Then he has used JavaScript. And so by just looking at all this, okay, you will get the interviewer or the people who are looking for a right person. Okay, this person knows JavaScript. Okay, he knows style sheet. And this also shows, yes, in particular web page, he has used HTML 52%, CSS 45%, and JavaScript 1.9%. So everything, this GitHub post platform will give you the clear, it will give you the clear picture what you have done, what you have uploaded. Okay. So these are the, like in Git, everything is command line. Okay. This is the GitHub platform. This GitHub platform, it is in the GUI mode. Okay. You have a code. If you just go to the code. So if you want, you can add file into this code. Okay. You can upload new file. And if you want to track, so you can go to the file. You just click on to the go to file. Here you have a history. Okay. So just clicking on this history, it will show you how many times this person has done changes. It is the initial. He has done it August 2022. Okay. The same day he has done so many corrections to the file. And again, the correction was done on August 9 also. So likewise, it tracked different versions. See, all the versions are tracked here. In the by looking at the history, you can know. But every time you need to add a file. Okay. Via upload file, you have to, whatever the changes, you have to upload so that that will be committed. And you can see what are the manipulation has done by using the history command. Okay. And you can also have a issues. So see, in case if you want to, you have any issues, you want to open that issue to the public forum to whom you have been collaborated. So you can post the issue, you can create a new issues, you can post the issue here. Again, you can get the suggestions from the collaborators. Then after which you can close and you can fix the issue. Then like pull request, pull and push, we saw, no? The pull request, it will pull the local, from the main server, the latest copy, it will pull from the server machine, server repositories, and push the local commits or push into a again main server. And if you want to take any actions, again you can create the actions. So these are all the workflow. The page is built and deployed. So likewise, what are the actions have been taken place? It is also displayed here. So no project. Then you can also have a security purpose. So this is about the GitHub platform. And you can also create a new repository. Okay, here, the dashboard, you can create new repository. You can create new repository at the time of creation itself. We can, at the time of creation itself, you can say whether I'm going to pull the particular file from own repository or I'm going to pull the file from another repository. That I can mention also at the time of creating repository itself. Okay, I think I'm going beyond the time. One second. So I think you had some input about Git and GitHub. I hope so. So these are the basic commands. Like here also you can use branch, merge, and pull, push in GitHub. See, the only thing is nowadays our learning environment is huge. We have so many learning materials are there in the internet. Okay, when we were students, we used to refer only the foreign authors' books in the library, but now you have a plenty of environment to upskill your talent, your coding skills or your aptitude skills and all. The only thing we have to be more focused, and we should spend time. We should have an urge of learning new technology. That's it I can say. Okay, thank you. In case any questions.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can ask.
See,
Ma'am,
again,
shall
I
we
repeat.
wind up, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I repeat, the young minds, you have to make use of because everything is available at the recent one is Git Copilot, I think. It is one more tool it is introduced where it is typing the code itself, because I tried downloading the tool because it is asking for credit card number and all. That is why I couldn't download. Otherwise, I could have shown the demo also by using Git Copilot. They are giving one month of free trial. You can just like ChatGPT. It is like a ChatGPT only. You can just give a voice message, addition of 2 numbers or palindrome. See, it itself typing a code, like how whatever the input you give in ChatGPT, you get the answer, no? The flow. Adhe madri you're getting a program typing. I was surprised. So it is AI is paired with GitHub. So the technology is going like there is the advancements in the technology is very each and every day it is coming up. So as technical professionals, we have to keep on upgrade ourselves. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Suma Shankari ma'am, for sharing the various applications of Git, GitHub, Git Bash, etc. by using Git commands and creating repositories through live practical demonstration. Thank you, ma'am. Hope the session would be highly useful and effective for the participants. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, feedback link has been posted. A participant has requested to complete the feedback form. Tomorrow's session will start at 2 o'clock. Thank you.